I want to stay in the Pacific because I actually have a bit of a not a bit of a bone to pick. I just actually want to have a conversation. Seattle, like they have two rookies in going seemingly complete opposite directions right now. Matty Beniers, this I guess I know another 2 game sample size isn't huge, obviously, but I think that 9 point in 10 games, whatever, wasn't as much of a fluke as some people thought because this kid's actually disgusting. I'm playing him in fantasy and he's single-handedly murdering me. But he looks so good, like a typical now American player that we see, like high skills, silky smooth, like just incredibly talented. And then you have Shane Wright on the other hand, who had played I think like under 10 minutes, under 7 minutes. I think it was like 640, something like that in the first game. Then got scratched in the second game. I don't even blame this on Shane Wright. I blame this on like the management team and the coaching staff. Like I don't know what the obsession is now with NHL teams with feeling like they need to be compelled to keep top 5 picks up in the NHL, especially this crop of players who lost 2 of their most important developmental years to COVID, and you're putting them against men when they're missing out on that vital development. I don't agree with keeping him up. I think they're going to do more harm to him than good than keeping him around. I don't understand this obsession. It's happened only recently with guys like McDavid and Matthews coming into the league. Not every player is McDavid or Matthews. Even Juraj Slavkovsky, I don't think should be with the Habs because they're going to suck. He's probably not going to be playing in the top 6, which is where he will be when he's good. And so I think you're hindering his development playing him in the NHL. When you send him back to Finland where he was playing, let him play against men who aren't NHL players, and he'll get better. I don't understand this obsession with keeping really promising prospects in the NHL just for the sake of them being top 5 picks.
No, I couldn't agree more. And I think, a point that I didn't think of that I think is crucial is the lack of development from COVID.
Yeah.
Right? That could not be a better reason to let him play in the AHL and get those reps in against players who are enable him to develop as a type of player, right? I really don't understand it either. There is really no benefit to having a top 5 pick play the first year unless he is a generational type player, granted exceptional status like Connor McDavid. And you know what? You can say Shane Wright was granted exceptional status, like fine, but those 2 years of missing COVID hurt.
It's not the same situation.
There's no benefit to it for development because you're either a terrible team where he's going to play in the top 6 and is going to get hammered every night and he doesn't play with anyone that's good, or he's on a phenomenal team, doesn't crack the top 6, plays bottom pairing, and then ends up becoming Capo Caco, who's playing on the third line. Everyone thinks he's a bust.
Exactly. That's literally perfect. The NHL is a developmental league if you're an NHL player at 18. But these guys, and it's not even to a fault of their own. They're not. So playing him on the third line is going to do nothing because coaches, I don't really think coaches care about how these players develop because they want to win games to keep their job. Yeah. Dave Haxtell, probably not a great coach. I don't think he's thinking 5 years down the road because he probably won't be there anymore. So he doesn't care. He wants to try and get Seattle to be relevant this season, not irrelevant like they were. And he doesn't care how he has to do that. He will clearly scratch Shane Wright if he thinks it can help his team win the next game.
That's very point. The incentives between development and a coach's tenure are incredibly misaligned just because coaches have, I would think, an average life in the NHL of 3 years if they're lucky. Yeah. Look, if you're going to commit to playing Shane Wright, you need to commit to playing him in the top 6. You need to commit to giving him 13 to 14 minutes a night, and you need to commit to not scratching him because if he's not going to develop physically because the guys he's playing with aren't great and he's playing on a bad team, the only benefit I can see to playing him in the NHL is so that mentally he can learn to become an NHL type player and face adversity. And then you go out and remove that benefit by scratching him, and he goes, "Wow, I'm not even good enough to be here. And when I'm here, I'm playing 6 minutes a night."
That's so bad.
Come on. If you're gonna play a top 5 pick, he needs to be in your top 6.
And he needs to play.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, okay. We're on the same page with this one. I just thought people are kind of clowning Shane Wright. And like, this is not a Shane Wright problem. This is an NHL and a Seattle problem.
Yeah, or else he's going to turn into Alexis Lafreniere. He's going to turn into like Jack Hughes or Capo Caco in the sense, like not their ability, but in the sense that he's not going to get enough minutes. 2 years later, he is not going to develop as a player, and the entire media base is going to be calling him a bust.
Exactly.
Right? Look what happens when you give Jack Hughes time in the top 6. In half a season, he's turned into a premier goal scorer.
Yeah, not everyone's Connor McDavid, who was, if he didn't get hurt in his first season, would have been like among the scoring leaders.
And he put up good stats in that first year.
He did. He just missed a ton of games. Yeah. But yeah, I think we need to NHL teams, I think just need to reconsider. Like selling your rookies jerseys is not important in year one. Like, they're going to be selling a lot more jerseys and potentially winning you cups 5 years down the road if you just manage them a little bit better.
Like there is a clear difference. Like, coming into a draft, if there's going to be a player that can play in the NHL, like sure. Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews, like you said, Sidney Crosby, like those Alex Ovechkin type players, like it's pretty obvious these are drafts where you like the odds of those players going first overall are minus 50,000. Like what's happening. But especially in a draft where like you knew Shane Wright was not the bona fide number 1 pick, he was stagnating around at the draft. Like it doesn't take a genius to go, this guy wasn't even bona fide to be the first overall pick. He's not going to be a bona fide NHLer. Maybe let's let him play in the AHL. And if you're going to play him, like don't scratch him. I think that's
exactly.
Stupid.
You got to commit to it. Because you're sending him mixed messages and it's no good.
But never mind. Matty Beniers is that guy. Oh my! Yes, Matty Beniers. I thought I made the same mistake again.
No, you got him.
Matty Beniers is that guy.
He is. He's nasty, and I wish I would have drafted him. But we'll have that conversation later. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. And find the link to our full podcast and all our socials in the description down below.
Also, don't forget to turn on those notifications to get live updates on new videos that we release.